And why don't we just kick right off with the song and we'll get going. Nice. This song is called XS. EX, as in like ex-girlfriend, I'm gathering. S. XS. It's a song by Carter Ferris. You know how I've been liking to start my shows off with a little opening like Christian song from 20 years ago or whatever. Let's go ahead and show the beach screen. Yeah. Here's some nice beach sounds. It's from the early 2000s. I felt that it was creative back at the time. I still think it's creative. It's cool. From Lujo Records. It's actually an unreleased track from the early mid-2000s, I think. Lujo. Lujo is Spanish for luxury, I think, from what they say. There's another song that he puts out, this Carter Ferris guy, who apparently had a rough life, and I think it shows in his music. And the other song I can't show you because it has a cuss word in it, and I don't want to be putting out cuss words in there. I hope the audio is better. No, I think that it's muddy, which I kind of like it. XS. It kind of reminds me a little bit of Radiohead. Radiohead, little. With that haunted vocals. This is what my schizophrenia sounds like, says Cheesehead69. Hake, it sounds like MXPX. No, it doesn't. XS, not SS. SS is Nazis. XS is kind of like excess. Maybe he's excessively obsessed with his ex-girlfriend? I don't know. Acid flashback music, says Skip McBurney. Skip, man. I'm glad you're clean now. What a terrible thing. 9 Inch Nails, says Sean Linkus. Yeah, I think there's an epidemic of tortured so-called artist music. Yeah, Radiohead, like spinning plates, says Crystal Kid. Yeah. This is what anxiety sounds like. LOL. Make it stop, says Jetty Bear. Amnesiac album, says Sean Linkus. Yeah. Okay, guys. So, just wanted to share that with you. It's a nice song. Oh, I think we'll play the whole thing through this time, because I like the whole thing. I don't feel that it's too long. Not like Die Radio Die yesterday. But, yeah, 2 minutes to go, guys. 2 minutes. You can hang. You can hang with me. I do feel that, this is part of why people are so miserable today. Because they get into this stuff and they just wallow in it, I think. But it makes nice music. It's funny because there are talented people who just can't get their life together. And you've probably never heard of like the best music because people are so miserable. Look at that one guy who was girlfriends with Ariana Grande, and he OD'd. That Jewish rapper kid, 26 years old, he overdosed. I'm blanking on his name. Yeah, Mac Miller. He did the Donald Trump song. He did the Donald Trump song, and Trump at first, I think he liked it, and then later he's like, where's my money? You're using my name and making money off my name. On my Donald Trump split. Yeah, so people it's like the secularization of America. Part of it. That's part of it, I think. People are lost. And this was part of it. Mac Miller was murdered. Yeah, he was about to expose the pedophile rings. This song is awful, said Mahmoud. You would know, Mahmoud. I really like it. Anyway, today I'm going to be talking Obama-Biden dishonesty against Trump in America. I touched on it in Hake News, Hour 2. Biden pretending to be for the women, pretending to be for the blacks. Just so phony. But he has a moment that's so funny, so like almost charming. Joe Biden, that is. Pretending he, well, I mean, he just blanks on Lloyd Austin's name, who is his Secretary of Defense, right? Who they made an exception to give Lloyd Austin the role, even though he's kind of fresh out of the military, too fresh out of the military. And I have some more information on the throwback story of Brendan Ike and your calls, 888-775-3773. Hope you enjoyed that, some of you guys. Or if not, at least it was mildly entertaining. But anyway, let's get on with the show.
1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, it's the Hake Report, the Hake Report, la la la. Oh, it's the Hake Report, the Hake Report, la la la.
Hey guys!
Oh, it's the Hake Report, the Hake Report, la la la. Oh, it's the Hake Report, the Hake Report, la la la.
So, how are you all doing? I am fine. And yes, there was there was music underneath. I mean, there was sound underneath. I call it music, but it was the beach sound and the wind sound. So yes, you were hearing, it was not a fan blowing underneath. I will be getting to your calls, 888-775-3773. Your friend and mine, Samuel from Sweden, is on the line. Did you know that he too is an artist? I will be talking with him shortly here. But first, let's see if I can blow through this very fast. Joe Biden is corrupt. That's a fact, Jack. Just look at the lies that he pushes, the Black Lives Matter lies, the smears against President Trump, the kissing up to the women, pretending that they're victims. It's just a male feminist. A male feminist, you know they're corrupt. Obama-Biden administration undermined President Trump as much as, quote-unquote, legally possible. And now the same people who were working in undermining Trump, according to this report or news analysis from the Epoch Times, they were undermining Trump, and now they're trying to get roles in the Biden administration again. According to the Epoch Times, Biden officials had roles in probes and surveillance in the Trump campaign, and actually of the Trump transition team, really. Because Trump had already won, and yet they were still going after him. And some of these are women. One of them is a female-minded liberal male. Obama people, including the lying Susan Rice, whom I told you about in Hake News at the end of hour 2 of the Jesse Lee Peterson show today, the not yet confirmed Samantha Power, and lesser knowns like acting Deputy Attorney General John P. Carlin, who's a young man, and Victoria Newland. So Susan Rice, I was telling you guys about, she was part of the Benghazi lie. She went on those Sunday shows and said, oh, this Benghazi terror attack that took place just coincidentally on 9/11, 2012, 11 years to the day after the 9/11, 2001 terror attack on America, killing 4 Americans, I think, in the Libya American consulate or whatever you want to call it. Susan Rice also was involved in the unmasking of Trump transition team members. And that was when they were spying on the Trump team. Remember Trump said, he tweeted out, Obama wires, he said, wires tapped, which is really supposed to be wiretapped, but he wires tapped Trump Tower. And he put it in quotation marks because basically Obama was spying on Trump. Susan Rice sent herself an email on Obama's last day in office detailing events that took place during a meeting between her, Obama, Biden, Sally Yates, James Comey, you know, that rhino FBI director who's tall and a male feminist. He is a male feminist. He in one photograph of himself, shameless photograph, he's like, elect more women or something dumb like that. His wife, he's supposed to be like a Christian too, I think, and a Republican, even worse, right? His wife and I think 2 daughters all participated in the Women's March. The Women's March was all about pushing, they wore these hats that are pink and they represent the woman's body part into which the doctors go in and kill the babies. That's what that Women's March was about. That's what the pink hats were about. Worse than the KKK hood. More murderous than the KKK. And I don't know how much KKK even murdered, honestly. But the Women's March today is a bunch of Planned Parenthood feminists. And that guy, whose wife runs his home, was involved with Obama. And he was in the Trump so-called administration. Did you know that? James Comey. And then he was replaced by somebody just every bit as bad, who's now pushing anti-white smears. But Susan Rice sent herself an email regarding a meeting that she had with all those people, noting that Obama asked his team to be mindful to ascertain if there's any reason we cannot share information fully with the incoming Trump team as it relates to Russia. Interesting. Coming up with excuses, so-called legal excuses, to undermine Trump and hide stuff from Trump. But then they try to claim that, oh, Trump, by not conceding the election, he undermined national security. And by the way, Biden himself was personally raised the idea of the Logan Act, which is where you're not supposed to be talking with foreigners when you're a citizen about to become about to become a position of power, like what they did to Michael Flynn, which is not even a reasonable thing. It was just a ridiculous smear against Flynn. But because of the dishonesty of Joe Biden, Barack Obama, the FBI, Susan Rice, and all these people, they got him fired. Samantha Power was another. I have the pictures of these people, by the way. Susan Rice is at the top of this article. Is the photograph at the top of this article regarding the Biden corruption. That woman. And to this day, there's people in the so-called deep state who are to this day who are worked with this woman, working inside, like as officials, and people who are predisposed to believe lies, believe that the government is honest and that Trump is the liar. Give me a break. Give me a break. Thank you for the to this day drop. Samantha Power is another one, I think. Yeah, Biden, Samantha Power, a white-looking woman. She has been named as administrator, U.S. Agency for International Development. She's not yet confirmed, this woman. She was the former ambassador to the UN, the United Nations, the evil United Nations, in the Obama administration. Despite having no intelligence role, reportedly, she made hundreds of unmasking requests during the final year of the Obama administration regarding international spying on Americans. But it's supposed to be for international purposes. She denied making any of the unmasking requests. Do you trust her? I don't. But she's getting a role in the Biden administration, not yet confirmed. Acting Deputy Attorney General John Carlin is the next guy. He's currently the acting Deputy Attorney General, involved in the DOJ's investigation into the events of the January 6th riot at the U.S. Capitol. Mostly peaceful protests, really. So this guy is part of the people going after Trump supporters. And ignoring Black Lives Matter, right? And Antifa riots and terror attacks. Carlin recently confirmed that more than 300 people have been charged in relation to the events on January 6th, just recently, and more than 280 have been arrested. He told reporters February 26th that the investigation is moving at a speed and scale unprecedented. Why are they so eager to investigate this? Because it's against right-wingers. Earlier in his career, he was the deputy chief of staff and counselor to then FBI Director Robert Mueller. You know, the rhino, with the team of angry Democrats who was investigating Trump and brought completely unrelated charges to people who were in his campaign. Later be appointed as special counsel during the Trump administration. During the Obama administration, this guy, John Carlin, was Assistant Attorney General for National Security and head of DOJ's National Security Division, NSD, from 2014 to 2016. Involved in the FBI's Crossfire Hurricane investigation of the Trump administration. Did you know that? According to FBI lawyer Lisa Page, I think she's the one who was girlfriends. Is Lisa Page the one who was girlfriends with Peter Strzok? Yeah. Carlin was receiving briefings on both the Clinton and Trump investigations directly from FBI Director Andrew McCabe and the progress of the FISA application on the Trump campaign aide Carter Page. FISA being Foreign Intelligence Surveillance Act. He acted real dodgy, by the way. He was questioned by that rhino guy who puts on a performance every time. He's no longer in the government. Now he's on Fox News. Trey Gowdy, when asked about this whole FISA thing, saying, I don't remember signing this or that. I don't remember this. They always act dodgy when questioned by Congress. These are not honest people. Victoria Nuland, N-U-L-U-N-D, Victoria Nuland. She's like a youngish, middle-aged woman. Biden recently announced this woman. He nominated Victoria Nuland as Undersecretary of State for Political Affairs, the third highest ranking post in the State Department. She has a long history in the State Department. Several roles during the FBI's investigation of the Trump campaign. She received the discredited Michael Steele dossier. And she'd been receiving reports from Michael Steele since 2014. And she met with a John McCain guy, by the way, about the stupid Trump-Russia mess. Because McCain wanted to know, we're taking this seriously, right? John McCain being the sleazy rhino, whom the mainstream media always called a maverick. Give me a break. And he's kind of really only famous because he stayed in office after getting caught in the Vietnam War. Trump says he's a war hero because he was captured. I was thinking about the reasons why I love Trump, the different events that were key in showing me that Trump is an honest man standing on what's right. First one was Mexico not sending their best. They're bringing drugs, they're bringing crime, they're rapists, and some, I assume, are good people. That was, the whole world blew up. There were boycotts against him, not just you and me boycotting him, not just idiots like you and me, or young people, or inconsequential people like you and me. It was like NBC, Universal, multiple huge companies boycotting him, cutting ties with him. Not to call us idiots, but... And then John McCain. John McCain smeared Trump supporters as the crazies. He got the crazies out. Because finally somebody stood on what was true. That Mexico's not sending their best, for example. And we were so happy. But John McCain called us the crazies. And so Trump is like, John McCain, he's a loser. He couldn't even beat Obama in 2008, right? And then Frank Luntz said, he's a war hero. He's not a war hero. He's a war hero because he was captured. He's a war hero because he was captured. He's a war hero because he's captured. 4 times Trump said he's a war hero because he's captured. And people freaked out. So ridiculous. And Trump stood on it. John McCain is a total rhino and a loser. and a backstabber, a traitor to America. Well, I mean, he's dead now. And then multiple times since then, the Charlottesville situation, violence on many sides, and very fine people on both sides. To me, I felt that was being a bit generous to the left, because the people on the left are not really very fine people, misguided. And both sides of the debate regarding taking down the Confederate statues and stuff. Telling the truth about the women, the progressive, quote unquote, Democrat Congresswomen of color. Go back, fix home first, and then show us how it's done. But no, they just bring more chaos and destruction, referring to Cortez, Rashida Tlaib, Ilhan Omar, Ayanna Pressley, messy Democrat women who are pushing around the Democrats right now. Such a mess. On January 6th, just recently, January 6th, President Trump told the truth. He said, I hope Mike Pence does the right thing. We're going to fight, and he fought to the end. You win some, you lose some. They tried to say he lied. They don't have evidence that he lied. They didn't even look at the evidence. Anyway, I don't want to get too much into that, but that's what I appreciate about him. Repeatedly, the day that he was inaugurated, his speech about American carnage, they called it dark. No, he was telling the truth about the situation. America has been in major decline. But they don't want to tell the truth about it. Anyway, let me quickly get to Samuel in Sweden before I show more of this Biden mess. And, Biden is like the next most charming guy behind Trump in office, except that Biden's a big phony. Anyway, Samuel in Sweden, how are you doing? Thanks for holding.
I'm doing well, as usual.
Nice.
And, I want to call in and mention a upcoming stream is called Paint and Chat with Sam and Matt, which will be a live painting stream with Matt living the dream.
Wow. So you paint pictures, right? You paint pictures?
Yes, I paint pictures, oil paint.
Oil paint.
And and I restarted painting quite recently. I had not been painting for 5 years, and I kind of started painting, and I got a lot of support from people on my followers on my YouTube channel.
Nice. Bob Ross style? Bob Ross style?
No, not Bob Ross style. Actually, I'm more impressionist.
Okay.
Abstract. But, the funny thing is, abstract impressionist. But the funny thing is that I'm so happy to have found my way back to painting.
Yeah.
That I started having a YouTube channel to do other stuff, and now especially about doing the cross stream every Sunday.
Right.
But now I'm so happy that I found art that I don't care if, for example, YouTube would remove me or whatever, because the most important for me now is really art.
Okay.
But I will continue having my Sunday stream, the cross stream with news and memes and things. But I'm so happy that it was like a bridge, this YouTube thing, to finding my way back to something I really love.
Yeah. How'd you get into painting? Are you self-taught?
Yes, I'm self-taught. I just started painting. I started painting many years ago. I just started painting without anyone telling me or anything. I don't really know why, but I stopped 5 years ago.
Okay.
And now I'm just want to paint every single day.
Nice.
I'm paint crazy.
Well, that's cheaper than going to college and learning painting and having to pay for all that mess. I don't know if college is free over there, but over here people pay.
It's not free.
Over here, people pay tens, if not hundreds of thousands of dollars to go to school to learn to paint, and then they're in the hole the rest of their lives. Or at best, they get a teaching job. Or maybe they become famous enough that they can sell enough work that they can sort of support themselves and pay it back off. But it's a scam over here in America with the education system, especially with the arts and all that mess.
I don't know if I said it on my stream, but perhaps I should do. Perhaps I should have it like a theme. But I mean, education should not. I mean, education is for like the 1% of people, and should just be, very specific things.
Right.
Most people are, should be living outside that academic world.
Yeah.
In real life, and I consider painting real, but I mean, have a real job, and as your main income, and you can always paint whenever you find, I mean, it's so over or whatever interest you have, but
right.
Like the world has become academic crazy.
Yeah.
That's, that we see in universities.
Are you still doing the training for the trade?
Training.
For the trade?
Yeah.
The electrician or whatever?
Welder.
Oh, welding, yeah. That's right.
Yeah, it's on.
Nice. How much longer do you have training-wise before you get job offers?
Well, it's still a lot of, when I'm talking about academic, the first part is almost all reading books about, and understanding, and now it's just like a lot of math.
Okay.
But, we use some of them when understanding blueprints and things like that. But, yeah, I mean, I try to go through that as quickly as possible so I can start doing the practical welding thing as soon as possible.
Nice.
But it's on me.
Oh, okay.
If I do everything quicker, I can do the
right on.
quicker.
All right. Well, good luck with both of those things. That's cool. I used to paint.
Thanks.
Yeah, I painted in college. It's fun.
Okay, nice.
Yeah.
Perhaps I bring you on, like, paint and chat with Sam Hake.
It would take me, it usually took me like 24, 16 hours. Like I would paint for 3 to 5 to 6 hours at a time and put it away, come back the next day, paint more. And so I couldn't just sit and do a painting on a stream. It never even occurred to me to finish a painting in one night, I don't think. I just took forever when I did it.
Okay, but if you haven't checked my channel, check it out. I usually put up my paintings and
nice
speed run.
That's cool.
Have it in high speed, showing.
I did an acrylic painting of Jesse, a portrait of Jesse, a few years ago. We were thinking, we'll do a little, I think it was during when our building got flooded, and we were trying to raise a little bit of money. So it was like a fundraiser thing. And I sold a print of it, but we have the original here. Actually, I have a print of it here, too. But
okay, you have to show it. If you can get Nick to get the picture, you can show it today.
Yeah. Yeah, it's actually, I think the print of it is it's in an enlarged print. It's sitting right above Nick's desk. And then the picture is in Jesse's
I'll be ready to
office.
see it.
Yeah. I think I used like shiny copper acrylic in the background. It was fun. I enjoyed doing it, but it took me I think it might have been Thanksgiving weekend holiday, and maybe a little bit longer than that. Anyway, that's cool. Looking forward to seeing that, Samuel.
Yeah, it's the same time your show starts. Like, what will it be? 9 a.m. Californian time
on Saturday. This Saturday.
Yeah, on Saturday.
Okay. Yeah. Cool, man. All right, Samuel. Take care.
The same. Bye.
All right. Bye. Yeah, I'll show that picture to you guys sometime. Robert in Kansas. Robert, how are you?
Hey, good morning, man.
Good morning.
Good. What are y'all doing?
Chilling.
Yeah, having a radio show?
Yep.
Dude, all I know, Hake, is we're about to get paid, bro. Base Biden coming out with the checks.
Oh, yeah.
It's exciting, man. I can't wait to get mine. I got all sorts of plans, Hake. What are you going to do?
That's a good question. There was this tweet that came out from Washington Compost saying based Biden. No, they said Biden stimulus showers money on Americans, sharply cutting poverty in a defining move of his presidency. And then it shares that very same article headline from the Washington Compost. That's the $1.9 trillion package that doesn't actually distribute $1.9 trillion $1.9 trillion amongst Americans. It only gives us $1,400 of our own money back.
Yeah, and we didn't get minimum wage either. That would have been nice. And then unemployment went to 300. What kind of, and then we could just get rid of all of it and do UBI, but, people think I'm crazy.
Are you you're for a universal basic income?
Oh, yeah, man. We could outlaw homelessness. It would be beautiful.
I think we could outlaw homelessness anyway.
Well, how you can't, if people have zero resources, you can't be like, go get an apartment somewhere,
I think if we deport the illegals and maybe even deport the homeless, we can clean up this mess without needing all that free stuff, because it's kind of debilitating.
You're not excited about your check, hey, don't lie.
What's that?
You're not excited about getting your check?
I'm not that excited about it because it's our own money, and they're not even giving us all of it back.
Yeah,
they're
spending.
Supposedly it's going to help. It's going to increase the economy by $1 trillion, but we're spending $2 trillion to do it. It doesn't even make sense.
Oh yeah, base Biden. He's talking about the Indians taking over and everything, man. He's doing a good job up there.
He's for the Indians to take over?
No, he's talking about the Indians, or he said something. He's talking about Mexicans taking over, Latinos. I forget what he said, but he just keeps saying these things. He's like, we got to help. I think he said rural blacks or rural people. Maybe it's not the same quote, but talking about like, if you're black and you can use the internet, someone helped you or something like that.
Right.
He just keeps saying this stuff, man. It's hilarious.
Yeah, that is true. He's older than a boomer, I believe. And so sometimes he slips up and is a little bit honest.
Some guy in the chat said UBI won't get rid of homelessness. Whatever, man. This guy, you people, I swear, man.
This is a socialist. You are a socialist, right?
Well, National Socialist. So
right.
That's a little different than maybe like an AOC, if you know what I'm saying.
But you agree on socialism part.
Well, it just depends. Like that can be defined in the way that it is. And so, yeah, there's some parts of socialist doctrine that are very similar to communism and control over the human person in a way that you're right about when you talk about that type of socialism. But then there's other socialism that would protect the human from the corporations. So if you have a corporation or a banking system that is in control where they can just tax you into oblivion or something like that, or maybe not allow you to use, let's say, their services, like if they are the platform, like the public
right.
space, like a Google or a Facebook or whatever, if they ban you from there, like they did Trump on Twitter, they really have a level of control where a socialist would say, no, as a corporation, you have to, the rights of the human man supersede your rights to operate as a corporation. So, poisoning our food and water and stuff like that, all that stuff would be outlawed in a way that would protect the human being or the living man over the corporations. And you need government to step in to do that if the corporations are so powerful. So
okay.
That's the argument of
above all that, we need people to return to morality, because the government right now is corrupt. And you are right. The corporations are corrupt too. And so it's a mess right now, because both the government and the corporations and most of the people are so corrupt. People are justifying the oppression of and marginalization of the whites and Christians and babies and men that's been going on for more and more for some decades. So, and I know that you agree with returning to morals. So that's the first thing.
The social argument, I would just say in a phrase, it's just, national means like the people, and then socialism is like to the benefit of. So right now we have like corporate socialism in a way, or corporatism and fascism in a way, where the corporations are in control. They can just say, you got to wear a mask to come in our grocery store, where the socialists might say, no, the human right to go and be in the free market is actually supersedes what the corporations can even make you do in a public space, right? So, like, I can't come in Hake's home, but if Hake has a public business somewhere, and as long as I have money, I'm dressed in an appropriate way, whatever, I'm supposed to be able to do business at your store, Hake.
Right.
But if you say, no, Robert, you have to have a vaccine before you come into my store.
That's what's coming.
Well, the corporatists would tell you, no, you got to do whatever the corporation says.
Right.
Or the socialists would say, no, the human man's right supersedes the corporation's right, and you can go into any public space and shop as long as you have consideration.
I don't think that most of the socialists agree with letting people get in without a vaccine. They don't want people to be able to function without a vaccine.
Well,
no returning to normal without a vaccine,
Well, yeah, but those are the corporations that control America, Hake. It's not the socialists. If you had a national socialism, we would have a totally different type of government.
They would have to be decent-minded. You know what I mean?
Well, yeah, they wouldn't have to. Just in America, we're about money. We have a banking, we have a corporate governance in America where everything is based on commerce and on money. Where National Socialism would place the human man above that, above the corporation, above the bankers.
But you sounded pretty excited about getting your money from Joe Biden.
I am. Yeah, we need.
So even getting away from the corporations, you still got to break that love of money.
Well,
do you agree that being spoiled by that free stuff sometimes undermines your creativity and ability to work?
Yeah, well, it's not free, right? It's just tax dollars, isn't it? Or is it? I guess they lent it into existence, but that's eventually paid by taxation. So it isn't free for anybody. All of it's on us, right? Inevitably. It's just a redistribution in the way that it is. Like you say, a lot of it went to foreign nations and to programs like making everybody, female and gay and whatever, hate white people, like you say. You're right about that, Hake. Just a 1/3 of it or whatever it was actually went out and checked. So
when there's a redistribution, you're giving people stuff that they didn't work for directly, and it's kind of like, I watched a video over the weekend of this guy, Russian guy, who was working outside in 10-degree weather, 10 degrees Fahrenheit, which is negative something Celsius, right? And he built this thing that he called a Finnish log torch. And basically he split it into 3 parts, cut out the middle, started a fire inside the middle of it, and then he ran a pipe. He roasted a shish kebab for himself and a couple of hot dogs or whatever. And he ran a pipe into his tent and heated up his tent using this thing that was called a Finnish log torch. And he's doing all these creative things and figuring stuff out. And it's those hard times that I think, and many people think, made whites creative and thrive under hard times and smart and all that. And I feel like all of this spoiling of society, these good times, these easy times, and this this socialism mindset, and the even a little bit of the excess, well, what we have right now, is undermining that creativity and that work ethic and that closeness to God. Anyway, that's kind of a side note. I appreciate it, Robert. We'll talk more, man.
That's all intentional, though, Hake, as far as the undermining of work and that ethic of work and what that production is.
Yeah.
That would be in a eugenic society where you would benefit meritocracy and hard work. Who would it benefit, Hake? It would benefit men, and it would benefit white people.
Right.
And so if you want to bring down society and destroy it, you can't have a meritocracy where the best person, the best qualified, the hardest worker is taken to the top, because you want to bring mankind low.
Right.
You don't like the image of God, and you don't want there to be human leadership, which is the white man, right, in terms of the human family. And so you have to get rid of that meritocracy and that honor, they delegitimize work, because work favors the white straight man, the human leader. And so if you want to get rid of that meritocracy and bring in what is now a cacistocracy, right? So governance by the worst people,
yeah.
The most perverted, the most disgusting people you can imagine.
Yeah.
That's what our government is. And so they can't have white men and make work legitimate again, or production legitimate again, because white men and some Nordic Asians would take over every position of leadership and management there was. They have to put women in there. They have to put blacks in there. They have to put, sub-whites in there in general in order to bring down society to a lower level. That's the operation of the government, Hake, is to destroy the nation, the people.
I got you,
right?
Robert. I totally got you.
Okay,
I got to run, man. Take care. Take care.
Bye.
Bye. Hot Computer Smell gave us super chat. Streamlabs.com/The Hake Report. Thank you. Cast Cobra Koi 99, casting on fire. What's up, Cobra Koi? Good to hear from you. Thank you for the ongoing support. And so did Noah's Ark, Kansas, with a stay safe. Appreciate you guys over there on Trovo, trovo.live/The Hake Report. Brandon M gave a colorful chat, which is a super chat. It's supportive. And he says, maybe you should play some soothing jazz instead of angsty teen music. So I'll put Earl the Girl, Tony Baloney, Joe Cringian, and Maze in a better mood. Interesting suggestion. Yeah, maybe I will.
Earl like a squirrel, I think he's going nuts.
Nice. Earl like a squirrel, I think he's going nuts. Yeah, last week I played fun white boy hip hop, trip hop, noise hop music. Soul junk. And this week I'm playing all these depressing, emotional, depressed music. I said depressed twice because it's doubly depressed. But thank you. Yeah, maybe it's a good suggestion. Okay. Let me get to Keith in Illinois. That's an interesting question. What's up, Keith?
Hey, what's up, Jake?
Hey, good to hear from you.
Oh, yeah, always nice to talk to you. I was wondering, I was watching this Coming to America 2.
Coming to America 2?
Yeah, the movie.
Part 2?
Yeah, part 2, yeah.
Oh, I don't know if I knew that there was a part 2 to Coming to America. Are you talking about the Eddie Murphy movie where he's an African king?
Yeah, that's the one. And I was watching it. It was free on YouTube because I wasn't going to pay. I'm not going to pay.
I don't blame you.
Movies, I'm not going to pay.
Right.
And guess what? Just like I thought, the woman is, saving everything. His daughters beat up a whole general army by themselves, okay? 3 daughters.
Oh, my gosh. This came out in 2021.
Yes, it ain't nothing but liberal crap, man. Women, I'm looking at them cry on TV 24/7 about how they're not in charge. They're in charge of families. Most of my supervisors and managers are women. You know, most of the women that make six figures, black women are black. I mean, you know, if they never get enough of the liberals, you know, trying to make sure that the women can be in control so they can take over this country one day. We all know this.
James Earl Jones is still alive?
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
He's 91. Yeah,
Wow.
he's 91. Yeah, he's still, yeah.
Good for him. Kind of.
And in the movie, like I said, you know, the daughters, you know, defeat a whole army by themselves with sticks, okay?
Yeah.
And then in the end, he go get his son from New York. He's supposed to be the heir to the throne. And he makes his daughter the heir to the throne. Instead of the male. So this liberal crap, I don't watch that crap. I mean, I'm just so sick of every time I don't even watch TV anymore. I try to watch the NBA All-Star game. Ain't nothing but people crying and moaning, racism, women don't get this. That's all you see on TV. Liberal TV is the same. It's like watching the same thing 24/7.
Yeah, that's true. It has become so corrupt and feminist and SJW-ish. It's such a shame. They've completely changed the culture.
Yeah, it's saturated. It ain't like you know, males, you know, it ain't like it's like, you know, divided 50-50. Okay, fine.
Right.
No, it's just one-sided. It was saturated with feminists, you know, everybody complaining about racism. Oprah, ugly, fat, rich self, I always call her rich.
Yeah.
You know, go get some. She is just the biggest race hustler I've ever seen. It's just like, oh my God.
Yeah.
You know, that's all you see. It's like, and the people, somehow they still love it. I'm going to say this. I'm going to let you go. I know you got to go. I told somebody this. I said, you know, with the $1,400 checks, I said, well, my grandchildren's going to have to pay the debt. I'm going to get the check, but my grandchildren's going to pay the debt.
Yeah.
Okay? So then they said, well, that's not fair. I said, but why do you want reparations? I said, now, if every black person gets reparations, that put the national debt at $65 trillion.
Yeah.
I said, now, let me show you how dumb y'all are. That'll still be black people's debt. And I say, first of all, the $350,000 you get will be worthless because the country will owe $65 trillion.
Yeah. You know, it's so crazy.
Yeah.
Like, look at the disproportionate crimes committed in the black community and think about how expensive that has been to Americans, to the locals. And yet they're still making payouts to people like Mike Brown's family and Breonna Taylor's family, multi-million dollars in some cases.
I know. And for somebody that committed a crime, both of them were committing crimes and they get paid money. It ain't nothing but, you know, the liberals and the Democrats trying to promote this racism. But all this hurting is black people. I mean, the thing about it, I mean, you know what I mean, with the crime that black people have to deal with in their own community, the shootings, the rapings, the pimping, the drug dealing, the drive-bys, the dropout rate, the disease rate, it's like you're dumb black people, you're losing 24/7.
Yeah. What a shame. So the title of the movie is called Coming to, as in the number to America. Ridiculous.
Yeah, it's on YouTube for free.
Embarrassing. Yeah, it's a Amazon.
Very.
Is it an Amazon original?
No, Amazon make you pay for it. I'm talking about it's on YouTube for free.
That's funny.
Yeah, thanks a lot, Jake. I just want to say that. I don't even want to turn on TV. It's ridiculous, man. That's all I have to say, man. It's bad. All right, buddy, y'all take it easy, man.
Thank you, Keith. Appreciate it. Good to hear from you.
Buddy. All right.
Take care.
Bye.
Man, let me get to Cam in Georgia. Cam, what's up? Good to hear from you again.
What's up, man?
Hey.
Yeah. I saw your shirt. Knowledge is poison.
Yes.
And yeah. And I grew up. I always heard knowledge is power. I just wanted your take on that.
Oh yeah. So yeah, this is available on the Hake Report Teespring site. If you go to the hakereport.com, it's in the menu Teespring. And the point of my saying this knowledge is poison stuff is because I noticed that a lot of people in general get into learning stuff. And once they learn a little bit of things, it puffs up their pride. They think that they know something. They start bashing people over the head with it. And I'm talking about whether you're a Christian, an atheist, a black, a white, a woman, a man, a male, or I should say, I shouldn't use the term man so loosely, because men don't tend to do this, like men who are being men. But a little bit of knowledge is good, but you don't need all that much to go on. People get into knowledge, and the more knowledge you get, the more you're rationalizing evil. There are people who know that homosexuality is wrong, right? And yet they'll feel conflicted about it because they're hateful people.
Because they're educated.
Yeah, and they're educated. And education is indoctrination.
But
and you get in.
It sounds crazy. It sounds crazy when you say because they're educated, but it really means they're. It's almost like if you're being taught the wrong knowledge from the wrong person, and you're taking it in and you're thinking it's great, it's good, and then you think about it, you're like, yo, I don't feel right, but it has to be right. I paid how much for this college course? It got to be right.
Yeah.
And then you start feeling bad because you like, I wasted my money. No, I didn't. No, it's right. It's right. It's right. And it's like, yo, you're gonna spend your whole life battling back with yourself. But I thought you were coming from that perspective, but I see where you're coming from. Yeah.
Yeah. Even knowledge that is true, even true knowledge, or factual knowledge, let's say, like stuff in the Bible or stuff that Jesse Lee Peterson says. If people aren't changing, they're taking that empty knowledge and just repeating it or thinking that it's kind of intellectually stimulating. It makes a little bit of sense, but they're not living it. It ends up being poisonous because they think that they have something that they don't. They believe that they're going to heaven when they don't even know God. They're continuing to sin, or they're bashing people over the head with the quote unquote truth. So that's why I say knowledge is poison. There's a lot of whites who are finding out information about the attack on whites, the replacement of whites, the lies about racism and crime and Jewish people and all this
and that's
stuff.
Knowledge. That is considered knowledge. But
yeah, it's factual. A lot of it is factual knowledge, but yet it's poisoning them. They're not. They're getting angry with it or prideful. And then they think that they're awake.
Okay. I see. Okay. That's you turned another side of the leaf, because now I'm thinking like, okay, somebody is actually it's like they see exactly, oh my God, this is evil. Oh my God, I want to react.
Yeah.
But it's like that, knowing that is the poison, because you have to allow that to just be what it is. And just, that I like that, because it makes me think, because I've always grew up, knowledge is power.
Right.
So I'm like, knowledge is poison. I just started thinking, like, what is knowledge poison? How can knowledge be poison? I always thought knowledge is power.
Here's another example.
But
go
power
on.
corrupts. But
right.
Power corrupts.
Yeah, that's true.
So if you say knowledge is power, and then you sound, I like that. I like that.
Nice.
Yeah,
there's another example, the Black Hebrew Israelites. They know the Bible so well. And yet,
I follow them closely. Yeah,
some of them are nice people, but they're a little off. They believe in white supremacy.
They're wrong.
Yeah,
all that
they
white
end up.
Stuff is horrible.
Many times they end up being hateful people. They think they know something. They think they're, I don't know. They jump to conclusions and all kinds of stuff. So
I saw that Jesse Lee Peterson 1995 thing that he did with the Israelites.
Yep.
Yeah, I watched that, and I love that, man. I love that so much, because I love how intense, and I love how they're just really into that shit. Like, you know what I mean? I'm sorry for saying the S word, but no, you know what I'm saying? Like, they're really into it. Like, he was sitting there on stage, like, really getting into it. Like, Jesse's just trying to, like, everybody's asking questions. I love that. I just wish that they would drop the hate. And if they drop the hate and we just come together, it's real powerful what they're saying. It's just real what they're saying. It's just that hate part. It's like, oh man, why we gotta go? It's like, oh man, and it sucks, because they say a lot of good stuff, and it's like, man,
right.
You know,
read on. They would say,
right.
You know, there's another thing. What did I? Oh, it's in the Bible. It says the Bible talks about this conflict that was going on back in the Bible times, because some people were judging each other for eating meat that had been sacrificed to idols versus not eating the meat sacrificed to idols. And they were judging each other. It was a big conflict inside the church of people who were Christians trying to do what's right. And they were infighting. And Paul said something to the effect, he was writing to this church saying, we know that an idol is nothing, and that meat sacrificed to idols is nothing. It's nothing. It's no big deal. But he said, knowledge puffs up, but love builds up. That means love is more important than knowledge. So if you have love, then you act right with the little knowledge that you have, which is all you really need. and you're not into bashing people over the head or judging or infighting or trying to divide unnecessarily, because there's a lot of unity that we could have among Christians and people who want what's right that we don't, because evil is infecting us. And part of that, I think that power, I don't know if power corrupts or if power just exposes the corruption or enhances the corruption, because people are already kind of corrupt.
I don't necessarily believe that statement. I was just saying that.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know if you necessarily believe it, but, people say that.
Right.
Power corrupts. So I'm thinking knowledge is power. Power corrupts. I'm thinking like that.
Yep.
Knowledge is poison. I'm like, well, poison can make you, it can kill you.
Yeah.
So it's like, this is like it can like change your whole frame of mind. And it's like, I've gone through all that, but that was really it, man. I just wanted to talk about that shirt. I like that shirt, man. I like that statement. It's kind of like, it's kind of a better way of saying ignorance is bliss a little bit. Like,
yeah. Right.
Like a kind of an opposite way of saying it a little bit.
There are, if you think about it, there are simple people that you may know, simple country people or simple people in general who just live a simple life. They may not be educated, and yet they're more pure, they're more decent, they're more close to common sense than the highly educated deceivers who are running the country or who are journalists and writers and stuff like that. Like Ta-Nehisi Coates is this educated deceiver guy who lies about racism and stuff and ignores the destruction in the black community. But then Jesse Lee Peterson is not highly educated. He's just simple and telling the truth. And that's what Trump portrays too. Even though he is educated, he returns to simplicity.
Awesome,
he's a humble man, and he communicates in a way that people can understand. And so I feel that the simple, honest people are better than the ridiculous
Trump kept
ones.
it real.
Yeah. Right on, Cam.
Yeah, man.
Good to hear from you again.
I'm here and watch the show, man. I like the show. I subscribed and all that. I like that. Everybody like this. Yeah.
Appreciate that. Right on, man.
All right, man.
All right,
Peace
take
out,
care.
man.
Okay, guys. We're coming up to the second hour. I have Ian from California wants to talk about painting, and I will be getting to him next. And Eli from NorCal, Northern California, who has a biblical question or a question referring to a Bible verse. And I have some funny, interesting stuff about Biden and a throwback little story about Brendan Eich, whom I mentioned yesterday as the former Mozilla CEO of the company that put out Firefox. Just an interesting throwback story for you guys. All right, guys, hang tight. I will be right back for hour 2.
When I'm all alone.
back, guys. Hope you enjoy the John Parfit music. Is it better than Hake's angsty Christian music? Actually, I don't think that Carter Ferris, who put out that XS song, was a Christian. Maybe he was, but I think of the people who run Lujo Records as Christians, but I don't think that Carter Ferris was Christian. But that's not Bob. I'm looking at Bob Ross. That's John Parfit. Bright Lights. What's the song?
That one was called Save My World.
Nice. Right on. Read on. Oh, those Black Hebrew Israelites from that 1995 or whatever, 1996 Jesse Peterson show interview, local TV interview. They they called somebody else gay. It was not that person. Anyway. Just crazy. Just vicious. White music. That's true, Mahmoud. Okay. Let me get to Ian in California. He wants to comment on this painting thing. What's up, Ian? How are you?
Hey, thanks for having me again.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just wanted to say about the painting you did about Jesse. I hope it wasn't one of those Titanic paintings where Jesse's like laying on the couch.
No. What the heck? No, he's really cracking up about this. That's funny.
What does Jesse say
I have a
about
friend
that?
who laughs at his own jokes, and I think I laugh at my own jokes too. You're mostly white, right?
Yeah.
Is it a white thing to laugh at your own jokes?
Yeah, I'm a clown. I'm a clown.
Okay.
I just wanted to give you some mess on that painting.
That's funny.
If I was Jesse and you made a painting on me, I'd be like, what the?
Yeah, no, it's a portrait.
Oh, it's a portrait?
Yeah, just a headshot.
Like just him?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's
Just a
actually
headshot
from
painting?
it's from The Antidote. The Antidote book cover has a picture of him,
Oh,
and
okay.
I painted the face.
Yeah. Okay, yeah, because I said something in the comments on YouTube and I got timed out for it.
Oh,
I think
that's
it was
funny. Oh yeah, that's funny. If it was
Yeah,
vulgar, then they probably should have timed you out. If they were just being oversensitive on my behalf, then they didn't have to time you out.
Yeah, that's good.
But yeah, don't take it.
It's good.
Those of you who get timed out or banned and all that stuff, don't take it personally. Don't take it personally.
On that one I didn't. I know I
Nice.
probably shouldn't have said that. I was being wrong. I was being silly.
That's funny. And then you came on air and said it. What the heck?
Yeah. I just wanted to put a little, make a little fun of you.
Well, I'm glad that you brought it up so that I could
clarify.
clarify, because it didn't even occur to me that people might take it the wrong way. That's funny.
Yeah. All right, Hake. All right. I'll
All
let
right.
you go.
Good to hear from you, man. Take care.
All right. Bye.
Bye. Man, people have dirty minds. In fact, I never watched the Titanic. I didn't watch it. That movie that came out when I was in high school, actually. I think this guy is annoying, says Samurai Camp. Yeah, I never watched it. I felt that it was hype, and I never watched it. To this day, I have not seen the Titanic.
To this day.
That's when the girls thought that Leonardo DiCaprio was such a heartthrob. And then it had that woman who's allegedly, I haven't seen it, I haven't watched it myself. She got like naked in that movie. What a mess. I remember one of my coaches saying, such and such person being naked doesn't make it a good movie. Because some of my friends thought it was such a good movie. High schoolers. So shallow. Emotional. Titanic wasn't very good, says Desperado Dave. You didn't miss anything. Nice. Yeah. I like some of Leonardo DiCaprio's other movies, but that guy is off the deep end liberal. What a mess of a person. I remember seeing him do all this drama about like climate change or something, speaking to the UN, United Nations. Was he a child actor? I think he was this little kid. And then there was another young guy who played Captain something. He played in the Pirates of the Caribbean, and he was in the movie too, and he was a little bit older. like the older brother, and then this Leonardo DiCaprio being a little kid. That was a weird movie to see because I didn't know that they were doing all that mess. Anyway, quickly, let me get to Eli in NorCal. I don't know if he likes NorCal or Northern California. What's up, Eli? Am I pronouncing it right?
What's up?
Hey.
Yeah, bro. We talked before. It's Eli Ray. I just got a new number.
Okay. Good to hear from you.
Good to hear from you, too, man. I had our last conversation, I had something to add to it that you might find interesting. But it was cool that you were talking about kind of the Bible verse. I don't know if it was Paul or Jesus clearly made all food clean.
Oh, yeah.
But in Genesis 2:29, you know, you're like where I'm from, you know, we grow a lot of ganja and everybody is around it, so you can't help but at least get into it when you're in middle school, high school. So what I realized...
That means pot?
Pot, yeah.
Yeah.
And I've never done any other drug. I've never done anything else. But what I realized is when it comes to, like, not seeking knowledge and being content, that's kind of what it does for me, and it allows me to kind of dwell in that space. And then in Genesis 2:29, I couldn't find it, but it's there in any Bible. It says, God has given all the herbs of the earth which have seed. And it's like, it's interesting because a lot of people...
I don't know if there is a Genesis 2:29, dude.
Look at 2:29. Or just look it up. Look it up. If anybody has a Bible in
Genesis
the office, look it up.
Genesis chapter 2?
I think it's, I'm just sorry. Let's
Genesis chapter 2 only goes up to 25.
Look it up.
I did look it up, man.
Just look it up right now. Just look it up on the internet.
I'm looking it up on the internet. Genesis 2.
No, 2-29.
2-29.
Yeah. Be amazed. It's amazing.
Have you been smoking this morning?
Just read that. Read that for the show. It's amazing.
You want me to read all 29 chapters of it?
No, just type in Genesis 2:29.
I did.
Herbs. And then just read that passage. It's like the first thing on Google. It's the first thing on Google. And it's in my Bible. Look it up. Just read it. Bestow the glory of God if you don't mind.
2-29. What?
Yeah. I don't know how the Bible, you know.
No, maybe. Oh, okay. No, it's actually 1:29, dude.
It says 2:29 in mine, but
I know, but you guys got it backwards because you.
What does it say? Maybe you're right. But read it.
For sure, I'm right.
But read it though.
Okay, Genesis 1:29, and God said, "See, I have given you every herb that yields seed, which is on the face of all the earth, and every tree whose fruit yields seed. Amen. To you it shall be for food." But even...
And did you know that marijuana has a seed?
Did you know that there are seed fruits that are poisonous, too?
But do you drink coffee? Because it doesn't say anything about beans.
But you're changing the subject. Did you know that there are...
No, I'm just saying, on this whole, it's a double standard. I'm saying it's closer to what the Lord said.
Did you know that there are seeds that are poisonous to you?
I do understand that, but there's no mention of beans.
No buts.
But you participate in things like coffee that aren't written anywhere in the Bible, poisonous or non-poisonous.
Just because I'm doing wrong, just because I may be doing wrong, doesn't mean you can do wrong.
It's not wrong. It's written in the Bible. God gave all herbs of the earth with seed, and this one's not poisonous. So
but you're justifying getting high.
No, it's actually the opposite. I'm just doing what the Lord says in Scripture.
Oh, Lord. You're gone, man. Have you been smoking this morning or ingesting or whatever?
And what is that? I don't know. I've never done. Have you ingested things? I don't do that.
Yeah, when you eat brownies, that's ingesting it.
You mean when the Lord said He's given you all herbs of the earth with seed for food?
When you eat marijuana brownies to get high, you're ingesting it.
Do you not follow Scripture?
Do you not follow logic?
Coffee beans are. I do. Coffee beans are narcotics. Coffee beans are literal narcotics, literally.
Okay.
Established.
Right.
If you do coffee, it would make you quite a hypocrite and a Pharisee.
What good does that do you if I'm a hypocrite?
It doesn't do us any good, but you're supposed to point out and do a nod to the Pharisees, and if you're claiming that the Bible says not to smoke weed and Jesus doesn't approve of it, it's just because you say it's poisonous, it's not poisonous, and so it still says in
I didn't
the Bible,
say it's poisonous. I said that there are seeds every seed is not good.
How does that disprove what? Because this one is.
Because you're using the Bible to justify getting high.
Nope, I've never done any other drugs.
Have you gotten high before?
With marijuana?
Are you high now?
Have you ever done marijuana?
Are you high now?
Like, how somebody's ever had sex, like about sex, but they don't know what it is.
Are you high now, Eli?
You sound like my grandmother.
Your grandmother may be right.
I don't know how to explain things.
It's funny because you won't answer the question.
You just don't understand the culture. It's a really weird question.
You're breaking up, Eli.
You're breaking my heart. But I like you, man. I really appreciate you. We don't have to agree on that. But I really
like you
appreciate
too.
You, man.
I like you too.
You're awesome, and your show is badass. You guys are going to carry on. I like shooting this shit, and just giving you guys a hard time.
Keep it clean. Keep it clean for me, buddy, but that's nice.
Hey, well, Genesis 29 follows scripture, my friend, and he'll lead the way.
I appreciate it, Eli.
Your own, but don't put your own convictions over the Lord.
Are you high now, though?
Again, I don't talk to my grandmother about it. It's challenging to talk to somebody who's never smoked marijuana because it's not high.
How do you know if you don't know whether I've smoked it before or not? Why are you judging me?
You're judging me.
No, you're feeling the judgment on yourself because you're judging yourself and me.
I'm holding up a mirror.
No, you're not. You're judging. You can't even answer the direct question. If you want to keep it private, No,
it doesn't have to be private. It's just that's not the terminology I would use. Because I have PTSD, and so when I smoke marijuana medicinally, it helps me feel what most people would call normal. And so it's actually a unique thing for me. So
what do you have PTSD from again? Where'd you get PTSD again?
When I was 14, my schizophrenic brother tried to strangle me up against the fridge. And he didn't really know what he was doing, and then he did it again when I was 18, and then I went to jail. Yeah, it was crazy, man. But
he went to jail? Your brother did?
No, I did because it was the holidays, and then I had just turned 18, and I was a Christian, so I was like, I'm not going to press charges, and I totally should have fought the case, but chose not to. And so it was wild, man. It's PTSD is weird because it deletes your memories for a while, and you feel like things are normal. So it was hard for me to kind of backtrack and figure out what was going on. And I started looking at the Amish people, and I was like, man, they don't let their kids go past a certain grade in school because they're just kind of surpassing the knowledge they need just for life. And
right.
And then I loved marijuana, and I kind of had a.
Do the Amish use marijuana?
I'm not sure about this. If they read the scripture, they probably do. But, a lot. But you know what I mean. I'm just saying. Aside from that, I find that it allows your mind to be, for certain people who may have trauma or maybe another thing going on.
But don't believe that, Eli. You don't want to believe.
No, it's not believing that. No, it's not believing that. It's a testimony through. Like I found Genesis 1:29. I'll trust you there. This last year, and I'd already felt it intuitively, and I don't want to be a Rastafarian. I don't like that, and I felt like. There's people that don't like pot, but the thing is there's still a context.
Are you a normal white person?
No, I'm an Hispanic.
Hispanic.
White person with a little bit of black.
All right.
But
and a little black.
White.
Okay. Have you been down? Have you been down here for church before?
No, I'm moving back to the area soon. I would love to. That's what
really?
My plan is. I was working at Trader Joe's Silver Lake right after the.
Right on. I like that area.
The event that happened. It's great. It's you should look it up. Actually,
You're the one who had like a crazy story, huh? Do you have like connections to the JFK family?
Absolutely not.
Or something?
That would be crazy. No, my aunt is Bonnie Raitt. I'm that one.
Yeah, and she has connections to. She, according to you, slept with a blues star.
A lot of them.
Muddy Waters.
She's an amazing artist. Yes, he's an amazing artist. It's just the liberal, the movement is really vocal out here. And back in the 70s, the no nukes thing, kind of to dismantle the nuclear family, but they didn't see it that way. And a lot of like hippie communes and just a lot of that was happening here. And it turned into a Bohemian Grove where Alex Jones found all these hippies in the woods, conservative hippies, and kind of just other sides of Republicans that you wouldn't
Yeah. Wow.
So anyways, but yeah, that's the thing is in Silver Lake, if anybody's hearing this, there is a movement going on for an acquaintance of mine who passed away in a hostage situation in that Trader Joe's like 2.5 years ago. And there's a progressive movement for her to get like a monument there in Silver Lake, which she deserves. And then they're also trying to check the Los Angeles Police Department as far as funding, not in the traditional way. Just because she was shot by the LAPD.
Wow.
And she was just in the store, and there was no security, and it wasn't anybody's fault. But if you look it up, like Silver Lake Trader Joe's, Melly, Corrado's, M-E-L-Y, her brother's running for like local office there somehow.
Wow.
There's protests going through, so it's cool, man. There's a lot of stuff. I'll show it to church when I go back down there.
Okay, man.
But Genesis 129, that's the thing is when you do smoke pot, why I don't like answering am I high, it's because I make a choice to look kind of silly, kind of like it puts you in a childlike state, and that's kind of more selfish. Like you appreciate things that are simple, and it's really interesting using it as a meditation for that. So my brother's an opiate addict. I've never done hard drugs. I've never even sampled them. I've lost 2 friends to fentanyl, who I never even thought did drugs, and so it's like they were high.
Right.
See what high looks like, but for me, no, it's like I often mix it with a little tobacco, which also has seeds.
I don't want to get too much into what the details. I don't want to get too much into the details here. This is a child. We don't want to promote drug use.
No, don't promote drug use. But as an adult, if you're an adult, not nicotine is horrible. If you never smoke cigarettes, don't. It's just that it's a way to not.
Eli.
But the thing is,
as Medor says, the Amish do not smoke pot, and it is evil to twist scripture to justify bad behavior. God made toadstools.
That's not what I'm twisting. No,
God made toadstools, but if you eat them, the poison kills you.
The Amish are allowed to leave and go to school and integrate into the real world.
Rumspringer.
Years.
I saw that thing.
Actually, yeah, so they get, I saw that too, but they get to smoke weed and drink and stuff, and then they make their own decision when they return. Now, the Amish I don't agree with them. I told my mom once I'm going to be Amish. It's the only thing that makes sense. And she's like, come on, man. And when I was like 21. So the thing is
let me interrupt you because I have to keep on moving.
I know.
I like talking with you. I like talking with you, though.
You too, brother.
Let me ask you.
I'll show up at church.
Let me ask you, though, first. Did you do the forgiveness thing that Jesse Lee Peterson recommends?
I'm just finally getting off the streets as far as having a car and integrating back into, a place, motel to motel every day. So I haven't really had time to, really sit down with. I don't have a computer. My phone's barely charged most of the time. But I could do that today or tomorrow.
About forgiving your mother and father?
Oh yeah, for sure. I did that. I called into Jesse the one time I talked to Jesse.
Yeah. So you've done that?
I did do that, but it's hard, man. I'm like. Yeah, I totally went there and did that, and my brother was there who was on and off of drugs, and it was really complicated, and my friend was there who was coming off of drugs, and
man,
I was just broke. It was just
what
crazy,
a life.
Where I'm from.
Yeah, people go through crazy things.
But
you do Jesse Lee Peterson's silent prayer?
I have the silent prayer. My mom sent me to rehab for pot when I was 18, and then everybody laughed at me and said those are the good old days. But I have the silent prayer etched on the back of my wallet, and I read it a couple times every day.
The silent prayer etched on your back. I'm not talking about I'm not talking about the Serenity prayer, man.
Ah, okay. See, okay, yeah. Sorry. So no,
that's all right. You just didn't know. The silent prayer. Yeah, check it out. It's silentprayer.video, or go to rebuildingtheman.com/church, and you can download it, or just listen to the audio.
I wanted to say something on behalf of you through your followers. Yeah, I'm not saying promoting any type of behavior like that. It's just when you're an adult, when you have a child and when you're in a different phase in life, you'll have different questions with the Bible and with Scripture.
Yeah.
And by no means marijuana is not good at all. It's not something to look up to. It's something to, same with tobacco, stay away from that. But I'm just saying, just on the sense of a biblical question for men, just in philosophy, that's it, James. I appreciate the conversation.
All right. You have a kid, Eli?
Yes, I do. Her name is Scarlet Rain. She's about 4 1/4.
Wow. Well, it's good to hear from you, man. Appreciate you.
You too, brother. Take it easy.
All right. Yeah, you too. Take care. Man. Yeah, I think that all smokers, whether it's tobacco, pot, or whatever, judgmental. Sometimes more honest, but judgmental. Jesse in California has a response to Eli. I didn't want to put him on with Eli because I didn't want to drag it on too long. But Jesse in California, what's up?
What's up, Hake?
Hey.
going on, man? Yeah, no, I just wanted to. I'm from NorCal too, right? And I used to grow, and I've grown like metric tons of pot, right? I was a commercial grower, and I haven't seen this thing do anything good for anybody.
Yeah.
Pretty much like destroy their lives, man. And it's like Ian sounds like he needs to like dry out, you know, stop being all into the world, because it gets you like all these drugs are pretty much to get you like into the world, you know what I mean? Like that's what all those pagan religions, they use those drugs to talk to spirits.
Yeah.
And all this crap. So like drugs pretty much ground your spirit, I guess you could say, you know. So yeah, like someone with PTSD, that's the last thing they need is pot. You need to get over that, not sit there and get high and get all in your head and stuff, you know.
Yeah, I was going to mention, don't believe the doctors about PTSD. He interrupted me when I started to say don't believe, but don't believe the doctors about the PTSD thing, because you're going to kind of give yourself a mindset of, I have this thing that I can't shake, and it's biological or something, and it's not going to go away, when you can overcome things. You can overcome all things.
Well, and that whole like cannabis community thing, everybody that goes to the store, they're like, oh, I'm sick, like I need to medicate, like, oh, I got pain in my wrist, and it's like promoting this weakness, you know what I mean? Like it's just pretty much like an excuse. That's what I look at it as.
Yeah.
You know, to
especially
like, if you're deal with life.
Especially if you're doing the stuff that gets you high. I hear that there's stuff that's anti-inflammatory, that doesn't affect your highness, but I mean, get you high, affect your highness. What is she, the queen? But I mean, people got to be honest with themselves.
Yeah, and I mean, like I'm trying, you know, I'll be honest too. I smoke, right? And I used to smoke so much, I used to like dab, like do the concentrates, so I used to make all this stuff, so I had it coming out of my ears. Like I would eat it, I would smoke it, and it just like gets you in like you're living in a fantasy world.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like you're just, all these like hippie stuff, it's all from like lazy Rastas sitting on their ass, you know, smoking pot all day, all that like peace, love stuff.
That's another thing, man. As far as anybody that I've known that has done it regularly, they're not as clear thinking as they think that they are. It affects them and they don't even realize it. Same thing with all of this stuff with the food and the sex and the, and he's right about the coffee and all that stuff. That stuff affects you more than you're realizing. You're not aware of it. You're not as clear-minded as you think you may be. It's true.
Yeah. So I just wanted to kind of bring that up, because I used to grow this stuff, and like I've seen people there, because I wasn't like lazy, you know what I mean, how to grow it, but I would like sell it to people, and it's pretty much, you know, growers, like, yeah, we're like peaceful, but we were pretty much outlaws. We're up there with unregistered guns, you know,
yeah,
bringing weed across state lines, like pretty seedy.
Yep.
It's not like the hippies back in the like 60s, you know, just growing a little bit of bud here and there. Like this is.
And the hippies were no good either anyway.
Yeah, they were like distributing LSD, like ruining people's lives, you know what I mean? So
right.
It gets you just thinking of some crazy stuff. Pretty much like a tool for the devil to deceive you.
It's such a trick. It's such a trick to try to compare it to other things, because you can compare it to other things and make it think, why is alcohol legal then? Or why is coffee or whatever? It doesn't make it right. You got to just aim for perfection. We got to be perfect. So, and get back in the closet with it. Have some shame, which is having respect. They talk about, you know, the liars, the deceivers talk about dignity for the gays, the LGBTQ people. Let them live with dignity. Well, living with dignity is hiding your issues, hiding your perversions that infect your life, so that in the hidden, you're showing respect for other people. You're not showing shamelessness. You're not trying to take away the shame and dull your conscience. Hide the things and overcome it, so that
have some shame.
Yeah, you can overcome things.
Taking it out on the world.
Yep.
I just thought I'd touch on that.
Thank you.
Like, it's a waste of money too, man. People will like, you know, they'll spend all their money on that stuff, and it's like, it's a waste, man. It's a waste of time.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Appreciate it, Jesse. It's good to hear from you.
Yeah.
Are you white? What are you again? I forget.
I'm half Mexican and half Irish and Portuguese.
Okay.
Or whatever, quarter.
Those NorCal people, you guys are a mess. I'm just playing around. I think it's kind of like that everywhere
18.
now. What's that?
When I was 18, I was like, when I was 18, right, I had like 2 apartments. I had them full of plants, and we were just blasting them because it was like legal back then. You could bring it into clubs, and it just, turned into a mess.
And that's what's funny is that people know, even like the pro-pot people like Joe Rogan, that guy he's a podcast host. He also tries to be a comedian, and he's a MMA type announcer guy.